Chaplain.
Is that thing working? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the best for last. That's pretty fitting with Pastor Donor over there. You poured into me quite a bit when I was in first phase, so just thank you. I want to start out with some thank yous. Thank you to Pastor Walt and Miss Louine. Somebody found my subject since they decided to skip my sooner. Thank you, Pastor Bill, for all the encouragement. For those of you who don't know, I landed here in the program 6 years ago, and I came here absolute wreck. I wasn't prideful at all. I'm kidding. I was absolutely wreck. And it was quite the journey. And thank you to all you guys and all you ladies and everybody here for your encouragement and your shining faces. And I had 2 disciples walk up to me and pray with me just before doing this. So I absolutely appreciate and thank every single one of you. I think I might just be buying time because I'll tell you the truth. A day ago, I lost all my notes. I worked on it for a couple weeks, and I lost the whole thing. But I guess, God had a different plan for me for today. I'm going to have to talk to him about that later. My close phone to my plan. But, yeah, me and him, we're going to have a conversation and stuff. Maybe that's all we wanted was an extra conversation. Yeah, forcing me to get in there maybe. All right. So some of this, honestly, I didn't even have a whole day to prepare. I made up, so, had to do some other stuff too. I got those little munchkin, rugrat, gremlin things to take care of. And don't feed them after midnight or put them in water, I swear. So I'm going to be winging some of this. It might be a little bit raw, but I promise you it'll be honest and from the heart. So is that all right with you?
Yeah.
I want to know who did the schedule though, because I want to know why I get to be the guy who's on the 3rd day after lunch when everybody wants to take a nap. All our bellies, I want to take a nap. All our stomachs are full, and lunch was cut short today. I'm pretty sure you all didn't even get your nap. That you usually sneak off to get at lunch. Yeah. So. With that being said, a lot of you know that I was in the military. You might not know or might not remember the time when I used to do the cadences around the building. And it was pretty good. I had a good time, but my Saturday morning cartoons were calling me, so I had to give it up. It was awesome actually to hand it off to somebody else and watch the new blood, the young blood, kind of build it, grow it up, add some new stuff to it, make it different and make it their own. But sometimes I still miss it. So for me to go ahead and get another cadence in, and for you guys to go ahead and wake up after lunch, would you all mind stand up with me? All right. Church on your feet. That's what it's called, right? All right. And feet out today. Left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left. When I got here, all I had to say, how am I gonna get right? How am I gonna get right? How do I get saved? How do I get saved? And Walt replied with the Jesus in his eyes. Walt replied with the Jesus in his eyes. Blood, blood, nails, nails, blood, blood, nails, nails. Back in the world, people gonna say, how'd you get right? How'd you get right? How'd you get saved? How'd you get saved? Thou reply as a new creation. Thou reply as a new creation. Blood, blood, nails, nails, blood, blood, nails, nails. When I go to heaven, Jesus he will say, how'd you live your life? How'd you live your life? How'd you get your grace? How'd you get your grace? And I'll reply with fear and trembling. And I'll reply with glad you're here, Pastor Walt. You missed the initial. Just thank you so much for. One of the things you teach people here is to leave things cleaner than they found it when they go on outreach, when they, their room, their anything in their life. And you did that for me. You left me cleaner and better than when you found me. I know we're all doing the same verse and the same theme. And so one of the things that all of us are trying to do as a pastor is trying to figure out, how do I put my own unique spin on this? How do I get that Rhema revelation? And like I said, God threw my notes away yesterday, so I had to pretty much depend on that. But one of the ways that you add your own personal touch or your own Rhema revelation to this is your own testimony. So next slide. And the next slide. So what's got two thumbs and a testimony? Just all of you. Well, some people here might only have one. I'm sorry, I didn't bring that up. But there's a one-armed guy in the back going, yes, for your question. But I'll get into the testimony part a little more. But our testimony is how we share our unique life application story of going the distance and finishing strong. It's how you're going to show the Bible to the world. Being a strong witness and guarding your testimony, your story, so you can share that proof and that evidence and that glory of God that's built into you by what you've been through and how you've come out of it, and share that evidence and your belief and your faith. If you can build your testimony, you can show that at least you believe in this thing and you have faith in this thing, and you can spread that and share other people. So let's get my ugly mug off there. Let's go to the next slide, please. Okay. All right, so therefore we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, somebody say witnesses. Witnesses! All right, I might be getting old, I can barely hear that. I think we could do better. Somebody say witnesses. Witnesses! That's what I'm talking about. That's what I love about preaching, is when I want to hoot and holler like an idiot, I can get other people to do it with me. So great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. So, going the distance, finishing strong, it's not just about pushing. There's techniques to this. There's concepts that are going to help you get through. So I want to try and conceptualize some of that today. I want to apply a little bit of how I've gone through some things and some of my testimony about endurance and attempting to finish strong and these things. So usually when we come up here, we'll share some of our testimony. A lot of the pastors will kind of tell you where we came from. So I think that some of that built in here. Let me see. Like I said, I did these notes quick and in a hurry, but I want to get how it's pretty relevant to this concept. Everybody has a part of their testimony that speaks to your need for endurance and to finish strong. Everybody's got that point in your life where you needed help and you needed faith and you needed that push to have that endurance to finish, and you need to capture and realize that part of your story so you can share it with somebody who is having that same specific struggle about not being able to endure or finish strong. We're going to run into those people, believers and unbelievers alike, all the time. So you have that part of your story set and ready in your mind, and you'll be ready, like as Peter said, a reason for your faith, to have it out there. So I didn't grow up a Christian. My mom, I guess you could call her a backslidden Catholic. She expressed some sentiment of the existence of God, but as long as I can remember, she was struggling on drugs, and we were really poor. Struggled for food and all those kind of things. And so I think if I'd have tried to grasp God at that point in my life, I'd have just been angry. So I just figured, whatever's up there is up there. I'll learn at some point. And so I pretty much I was agnostic, you could say. Like I wasn't an atheist, but I didn't believe. All the way up until I started realizing it kind of made sense. I looked at the religions that were available, so to speak, and I was like, well, I think I like that Christianity one. And that was about the extent of my faith. And then I met my now wife, and we got together because we both liked meth. And that's why we got together, partied together, started seeing each other. It wasn't, some kind of church hookup or a Christian mingle or a Christian tingle or any those things, we definitely, it was a party scene and it was all bad. So we got pregnant, and I say we because it takes two, of course, guys, you know this. And let's see, so that's when we figured we got to do something. And my brother turned me on to this place, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, and he said, yeah, it's free, and I'm like, okay. Yes, absolutely. So we came down to church on the street, and I was like, you know, I think I'll give this thing a go, but I'm not convinced yet. And so one of the things that convinced me was, of course, Pastor Walt. I mean, you know, no caffeine, no sweets, no drinking, no smoking, no nothing from the old life, you know, and just living strong and doing the thing every day. And I'm sure that he's a pastor at church on the street because he gets paid so much, right? You know, I'm sure it's not that, you know. So the dedication in this man to his calling, I was like, that guy's got something I want, besides a full head of hair. And this isn't all me. There's a and not to mention, he when first week I went to work out, he was one of the days he was my partner, and we got on the incline bench, and he outbenched me. I sprained my shoulder trying to lift what he was lifting. I felt like such a tweaker. I mean, but it was bad. But I was coming from that life, you know. So anyway, there was a Monday night prayer night, and I come in, and I was like, you know, I just want to know that he's real. And so I got in line to pray with Pastor Willa, and when I got up to him, I told him just a little bit of what I was thinking, and he read my mail, and his prayer was everything else, very specifically what I was thinking and feeling, and it was this God moment to the point where God said to me, in my mind, still small voice, one of the only times it's ever happened to me, I'm here. And that's all he said was, I'm here. He didn't say, I am here. He used a contraction. Like, he spoke to me like I would speak, and he met me where I was at, just to let me know that he was real. I was like, okay, cool. I'll figure it out from here. I'll start studying, and you know, once I found out he was real, that gave me direction. Once I found out that he loved me, that gave me value. And the direction and the value gave me the purpose to endure, to finish the race, to stay strong. It gave me reason. And that all came from, you know, landing in this place where God wanted me to be. I was sure it was the devil because, you know, bedbags and 4 a.m. and all that nonsense. I was like, devil's a liar. No. So, let's see. But just so you know, before I came here, what got me is, so I went to Iraq as a medic, and I wasn't a Christian then. And so we should all know that the faith that we have to share with other people, the witness that we have, if they don't have Christ, the things that they go through, that we complain about, that we go through, they'll have it even harder. When I didn't have Christ, and I was a medic on the battlefield, and people I knew came across my table, blown up. I didn't have a way to deal with that. And so I went to drugs. You know, eventually it just turned to opiates, and you know, heroin's cheaper than pills, and then you know, I'm in the scene, so I had meth, and it got to the point where I was putting you know, some heroin or anywhere up to 2 perk 30s and a dime of meth into the same syringe and popping it, you know, 3, 4, 5 times a day. And yeah, some of you know exactly. I had 3 heart attacks before I was 26, and all stupidity and just being a knucklehead. And I used to think, man, I must be bulletproof. I mean, look at all the crap I'm surviving. And I thought I was lucky, but now I know that I was blessed and I was loved. He loved me before I knew him, before I loved him. And I was kept. And so part of the message today is we've all been through some crap. And for me to know, for me personally, the fact that I know some people who didn't do any of the nearly ungodly, stupid things I've done, and their life wasn't spared like mine was. I need to have a reverence for that, and I need to have an honor for that. And I need to do everything I can to show God that I'm grateful that despite my best efforts to end myself, He kept me going for something. So, you know, here I am, and still trying to figure out what that something is exactly, but we'll get there, right? So where was I next? Yes, the value, identity. I am a disciple that Jesus loves. Study that out where John says that. It's amazing. He's not bragging. He's just being truthful. If I know that I'm a disciple that Jesus loves, then I have a reason not to do those stupid things to myself anymore. Because I'll tell you, I didn't quit drugs because they didn't feel good anymore. I quit them because I'm better than that. And I don't need to do that to myself. Because God loves me, and who am I to argue with him? If he says I'm valuable, you know, I found out through this journey that he's smarter than me, so I should quit arguing with him. And I've had to endure some things. So, I mean, a lot of you know, getting really real with you, you know, my wife is in rehab again. This is 7 times in 6 years. And if you're going to go through it, I mean, go through it with a smile. You know, that's all you can do. Because I've had multiple people comment on how it gives them some kind of hope, some kind of strength to see me endure. And I'm telling you that to pass that on to you, to whatever you're going through. Somebody's watching you. And somebody's going to gain their strength and their faith off of you. And watching you go through it and smile or do whatever you got to do. So let's see. So I've been alone for a good part of the time. I mean, you know, not never alone, but to do this fatherhood, full-time ministry, school time, but because of 3 things, you know, just faith, maintaining a good witness, and an attitude of just do it. I don't endorse Nike by any means. It's just but it is a good word. Just do it. Here I am. I got 2 little girls that are being raised under God, and they're wonderful, and they're lovely. And just by enduring and doing my best to be faithful, I've been blessed in the ministry. I really like my position and what I do. And just on that real quick, you know, coming here, I was like, man, who am I? I'm a scrub. I don't have no legacy. You know, I'm not a Barnett. I'm not a, you know, any of these things. And I want to be in this game. Who am I? And that's where I realized I'm a disciple that Jesus loves. I'm a son of God. So I went through the training, got ordained. I've been, you know, blessed to do the work I do here. I've been personally involved in founding at least 4 dream centers across the country. They even flew me out to New Mexico to go talk to the mayor's office about that one. And I'm like, this guy, you sure you want me to talk to him? I might do something stupid and
Smile.
Smile. Embarrass myself or you know, crack a joke on the staff. Are you sure? But
Vampire.
I'm glad I didn't drop it, because that was I don't really like. So I'm telling you this. I didn't know how to do these things when I got here, but one thing I decided to do was run God's race the way God wants me to. And all these things that I've been able to do, that I've been blessed to do, it's all on God. And I tell you this not because I want you to do as good as me, but because I want you to do better. I want you to get a little bit quicker than I did. You know, if you can get less right up your face even than I got, that'd be great. Pastor Bill's smiling because he knows, man. I mean, you know, drugs, possession, destruction of property, violence, cell phones, sleeping in, like everything. I got kicked down. You know,
I used
now
to
that's
have
not.
full head of hair too.
Yeah. Liars really help us. No, and I'm not advocating that by any means. I'm just telling you, if you can take a shorter road than that with less bumps on your head, please do it. Because it was a learning curve, but you know, sticking to trying to learn, that was the way. So my 3 concepts, I think they're up there right now, are faith in action. You know, be a solid witness, and then once you got those things in mind, just do the things. So a little bit about the book of Hebrews. It was written to the city of Hebron, right? No. It was written to the church in Hebron-Lanica? No? No? I was hoping Miss Louine was here to give me a look on that one, but no. So some of the other books, you know, they're written to the church in Thessalonica, you know, Galatia, Romans, stuff like that. And what I like about the book of Hebrews, it's just written to us. It's just written to God's people, the Hebrews, the new church. Do you think God forgot to write down, oh yeah, and this is for this city or this church or whatever? God doesn't forget to put things in the Bible, and he doesn't waste ink. So it's very, I love this book. It's very purposeful. That, let's see, what I'm saying, the message of this book is something we can't whiz our way out of and say, well, that verse there is in the book of Romans, and it was different back then in Rome. It's different than it was now. It was different back in Galatia. For those people at that time, this book is just generally addressed to us, for all time, and we just got to suck it up, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Yeah, don't actually tear up the book of Hebrews out of your thing. Put it in your pipe. We'll have an issue. So, I don't remember. I think the next slide. All right. So, what is faith? Like I said, the three things, and the first one is faith. So, Hebrews 11:1 says, faith is confidence. Somebody say confidence.
Confidence.
That what we hope for will actually happen. It gives us assurance. Somebody say assurance.
Assurance.
About things we cannot see. So I'd like to address this idea of like blind faith. Faith is confidence. Confidence isn't blind. It's built on something. Your faith isn't just this blind step you take. This imaginary, invisible thing that you believe in for no reason. Faith in God comes just like when you have faith in other people. They built it up. When you've studied God and when you come close to Him and when you've learned about Him and seen Him in your life and observed, then you end up having faith in Him. You have this founded belief. Non-believers like to quote our blind faith as this kind of stupid thing, but it's not what it is. I mean, let's see. This might be a little off script, but tell you one thing I have faith in is gravity. I can't see it, but I know that if I drop my phone, which way is it going to go? It's going to go down. I can't see the future. I know this because I've got experience, because I've observed, because I've been through this. So when you got experience with God and you've observed and you've looked at the Bible and all the proofs, then you have this faith because you know God's Word and you know God's promises and you know what's coming next. You know that gravity is going to work. You know that God's going to work. And that is faith. Let's see. Next slide. Yeah, thank you. Faith is the type of knowledge that begets obedience and action. Action against the flesh. So, if you know gravity is going to work a certain way, why sometimes we act like we don't know it. If we know God has the best blessing for us on this path of obedience, why don't we do it? It's a lack of faith. So when you know that God's going to give you the strength, when you have faith in the fact that God's going to give you the strength to finish strong, to endure the race, to move forward, you can be obedient to that. So I'm trying to say here, faith is not just about what you do, and it's about what you don't do because of the confident knowledge of the consequence and the love of God, that should redirect you. So let's see, I think I've jumbled up my notes a little bit here, but I got two things I want to say about faith. So a couple of the big faith stories in the Bible are when Peter stepped out of the boat and when Abraham went up the hill to sacrifice his son, right? They didn't make those things up. Abraham didn't say, this is just a thing I'm going to claim by faith and I'm going to do it to test God. He was ordered to do that. And even Peter, when we look at the scripture, Peter didn't say, Lord, is that you out there? If it's you, catch me and jump. He said, if it's you, call me out. And so Jesus said, come. And he obeyed. It was a faith move because he obeyed what God wanted him to do, and he did something against his flesh. He didn't want to step out into that water. That's crazy. So it was a faith move to be obedient because he knows Jesus and he knows what's up. So when we are hurting, when we're tired, it's a matter of faith to endure, to finish strong, to keep going in the race. And then when Abraham, same thing. It was obedience. So, what was next? Oh yeah, and how important is faith? We are saved by
Faith.
saved by grace through faith. Saved by grace through faith. So that's really important to me because a lot of people just say, saved by grace. Yes, but there's not a period after that. Saved by grace through faith. So if you look at that, do you have salvation and grace if you don't have faith? Maybe, maybe not. Because if you're saved by grace through your faith, then you got to have that faith. I don't think, God could have just put a period after grace and said, well, we're all saved by grace. You get grace, like Oprah Winfrey. You get grace, you're all saved. But he didn't. He gave us a specific word there. Through faith, through obedience, through taking action against your flesh. It was an action against my flesh to quit doing drugs. Like I said, I didn't quit today, feel good no more. It's an action against your flesh to stay pure. To do all those things. Let's see. So if we truly understand the magnitude of God, it's like standing in the middle of the road and there's a truck coming at you, and you're like, yeah, I know it's coming. I have faith. I get it. I understand, but you don't move. You don't obey the natural laws of what's about to happen, then maybe we don't have faith. And I'm not trying to come down too hard, but in every decision we make every day, and I'm definitely not perfect. I'm humble and proud of it, but I'm not quite perfect. Well, if I was any more humble, then I would be perfect, and it would be impossible to be humble, to maintain humility. And so it's like a curse, But, I'm more humble than you. I've actually heard that argument go down of who's more humble. I'm like, you're not getting it. So where was I? Saved by grace. All right, good stuff. And like I said, I'm definitely not perfect, but in every decision we make that is against God, we're going to slip, we're going to fall short every day, but you have to think about how that relates to your faith every time and every day. And that's how we grow and we get, closer. So, next slide. Since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, that's part of our verse for today, and I think it's extremely, extremely important. I'll tell you a little bit. So, Revelation 12:11, and they overcame the enemy by the blood of the Lamb and the word of the testimony. That is, they love life, not their lives even unto death. That is my power verse, because testimony is a great thing. It takes my ugly nonsense, my stupidity, my things that I'm ashamed of in the past, and as long as I move forward from those things, they've become a testimony. They haven't become my definition, and I can share those things with people and give them hope. I don't mind telling people I'm a drug addict today, because I'm 6 years removed from that, and if they still judge me, you get through. There was I kind of call it the ministry of the scar kind of thing, because it takes your old scars and makes it into this story, this testimony where you give hope. I was standing in Walmart one day, and there was this young lady standing behind me, and we're in the returns line, and so everybody's angry, but she was putting on some little toy watch from a Happy Meal or something, and I saw on her arm she had fresh tracks, like the green bruises, all the needle points, like all the way, like she wasn't even very good at it. They were all over. I was a nurse too, so I mean, not to critique her, but and I mean, I didn't tell her that, but I looked at her and I pulled up my sleeve and I was like, we got some. I see we got some of the same scars. And she looked at my arm and it took her a second, but she was like, oh. Yeah, and she opened up to me. If I was just some random dude standing in line and I said, hey, I think you're a drug addict, you want to talk? What are you talking about? I might have got hit, And, but she opened right up. She saw my scars. She saw my physical testimony on my arm, on my veins, of my scars and where I've been. And she was like, yeah, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing. I got a bachelor's in, it was like plant biology or something like that. Botany. And, all these things, and she was this young lady with the world in front of her face, and you could see she realized it then, and I gave her my card, and she was able to talk about it because I was able to show her my scars. And so, in that kind of way, when you need to, that's why I think it says here, since we're surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, because people are watching. You know, it's kind of a hood thing, like, oh, I don't care if people think, I don't care if they're watching. We should, because we can have an effect on them. When we have the light of Christ in us, we should care if they're watching, and we should care what they're watching and what they're seeing us do. Because, like Pastor Walt inspired me, we're going to inspire other people. If you've been sober for one day, you've been sober one day longer than somebody else. And you can give that to them. You can show them that. You know? Let's see. Every time I go off script, man, I lose my voice. You know, and the power in the testimony is those with no faith or little faith, they have their faith increased by watching us. You know, what happens in the hood when you swear you're down and then the first sign of trouble you cut and run? Your allegiance to the head of your group is questioned, and thereby the power of the head of your group is questioned. If we're not repping Christ, people question his efficacy and his power. Do I have? I think I do. Real quick, can I get you, and I need red shirts. You? Oh, up here real quick. I've never done this one, so I'm going to try it out. Who else got a Church on the Street shirt? All right. Brother? On this side? Oh, I already got one. Mexican guy. Yeah, I'll take your phone. Yeah, sure. I don't even know what you are, so yeah, that'll work. Your eyes throw me off, right? And maybe one white girl.
Your eyes throw me off.
Now, if you split it down the middle and you got two groups of 4 people, which one looks like a church? Which one looks like they belong together? They're all pretty much white. I'm not sure about this guy, but you know, they all look like they belong together. They got the Church on the Street shirts on. They're flying the same flag, basically. And then everybody here comes from somewhere else. So when you're of the world and you don't have faith and you don't understand what the body of Christ is, and you look, you'll say, oh, that looks like a church. That does not. But we have a witness, and we have a testimony. Can you put them in a headlock? And you two start arguing. Insult each other's clothing back and forth. Go for it. You can do it. Go for it. All right. And you guys come up.
Get him, girl! Get him! Is he really wearing those pants with holes?
Do it. Do it.
Is he wearing his sister's pants?
Now, who looks like the church?
Amen.
Who looks like the church now? Who's giving a testimony? They don't have the flag, they don't have the same shirts, they don't all look the same, but who's giving their testimony right now by enduring through all the stuff going on in this world and still coming together and being strong and loving each other and enduring and finishing strong? Who's doing it? These guys. So that's what we look like to the world when we're acting a fool and when we're weak and when we give up. So go ahead. Go ahead, back to you. So that's about, you know, testimony and what we're showing to the world. Are we showing them the strength to endure and to finish strong, or are we not? So that kind of. So if you have faith to stand up in front of the world and endure, and give that testimony and have those things in mind, then the last part is just to do it. Do I have another slide? Run with endurance the race that is set before us. Just do it. Run. Somebody say endurance. Endurance. All right. And so God's going to give us the tools and the strength. And it's up to us to exercise the faith and to be that witness. So I think I need to talk a little bit slow. I got, what, 10 more minutes? All right, I'll make some stuff up. Because I'm looking at Pastor Walt, and I know you guys aren't getting out early. Endure, finish strong. Why would I let you out early? That's not good. All right. So it says, run with endurance the race that is set before us. So if we're looking at life, you know, what are you racing? I mean, we're all going to die. We're all going to get to the end, one way or another, one day. You know, it's not like I'm going to run harder, and once we're dead, you're going to be deader than me. So, I mean, who are we racing against? We're racing against our flesh and the enemy, because it's always trying to catch up to us, and it's always trying to get us, and he doesn't stop, and he's been doing it for thousands of years. That's where I think the race comes in, is you got to constantly be moving. You got to constantly be exercising your faith in obedience, taking action against your flesh to run with endurance the race that is set before us. So, let's see. What did I write here? You may have heard today that God's going to help you and he's going to give you the strength, and that's true. But I want to tell you that God doesn't push you. You submit. Through the pain, through the weariness, through the temptation, we submit. I don't mean to use words that mean to, of course. Yeah, and with a submitted heart, we will endure. So, God doesn't push us, we submit. I have a little story about that. I'm a little nervous about telling it up here. But, all right. I was here when I just graduated the program, and Bishop Moody and the boys were here for a night. And it was after service, and they were doing the prayer line. And one of the things I learned is whoever makes me the most uncomfortable when I look at him, go pray with that guy. Because he's got something that, you know, yeah, I don't look for the one who I think he's going to pray the way I like. You know, it's like, I used to, and, you know, when I go and I approach my, you know, this, anyway. So at the time, I didn't know Pastor Torrey very well. He's an awesome guy, the tall black guy that comes with Bishop Moody. And I went and I prayed with him. And so Bishop Moody's service, especially anointed, people get slain in the Spirit. And I'll be honest with you, I believe in being slain in the Spirit. I don't believe every single person that does it. And so I kind of had that judgment thing in my mind. And I figured, well, what do? When I get up there, if God wants me to fall over, he'll push me over. I'll fall over. I'm not going to be able to stop God. But that's kind of like saying, if God wants me to quit smoking, he'll just make these cigarettes disappear. If he really wants me to, he's got the power of God. He could just do anything, right? If he really wants me to fall over. So I'm standing there with Pastor Torrey, and he's praying with me. And I think one of the only 2 times I can think of in my life, I had that still small voice. God says, because I'm thinking that in my head, I'm like, if God wants me to fall over, he'll push me. God says to me, I don't push you, you submit. And that is a lesson, isn't it? I mean, in everything. Like I said, quitting drugs, quitting smoking, all these things, God's not going to push us. We need to submit. He'll give us the tools, and he'll give us the strength, and he'll help us when we need the help, when we need the grace. But when we don't need the help, and he's given us the tools, and we just choose not to use them, he's not going to push us. We have to submit. And so God said, I don't push you, you submit. And the confirmation for me was right after that. Nobody said anything about it before that. Right after that, Pastor Torrey, he's touching my chest. He goes, submit, submit, submit. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'll give it a shot. I get it. You know, like you're talking to me, God, whatever. And so I let go, I let loose, and I fell back. And I don't know how many of you know Jeremiah, but he's about $120 soaking wet. He's the one standing behind me. And I'm all of 200 pounds. I fell right through him. And my head bounced off the floor. This carpet sucks. So my head hits the cement and bounces Well, I think it's different places. And so I fell like a tree right onto the back of my head. And I hit pretty hard. And when I got up later, I'm standing over there with my wife, and I realized my head doesn't even hurt right now. That's crazy. Not at all. Not a little bit. I submitted, and he has his hand on me. Yeah. You know, he's taking care of me. And then, this is the embarrassing part. Earmuffs, women. I was just out of the program. I took it a sideways glance at something that, wasn't mine. It wasn't mine to have or to hold or to cherish for the rest of our lives. And right then, my head started hurting. I get it, God. Okay, you're gonna take care of me as long as I do everything within my power that I'm supposed to do. That you're giving me the strength to do and submit to. You're gonna take care of it. I get it. Okay. You had to get me over the head basically. I get it. So he'll give you the tools, but you have to submit. Acknowledge him and use them. God will carry you when you can't. He will not push you when you won't. But he always has an open invite. So, another, I don't know about this one, but you can, like I said, God will give you the tools. There are certain things He wants you to do for yourself. And you can't just claim everything by faith and that God will take care of it. For example, God is not going to wipe your hickam and shot for you. He will not take care of that. In fact, you can pray all day that I don't want to handle that anymore, God. You take care of it for me. I don't want to wipe my own butt. And He's going to say, do it on your own. In fact, He wants so badly not to wipe your behind for you and take care of you like a little baby. He give you 2 arms. So if you lose one, you can still do it yourself. God talks to me like I'm dumb sometimes when I get weird messages. But there are some things, like combing your hair, no offense, Pastor Eddie, that God's not going to do for you. So, now I was actually told God really loves bald people because He looks down and He can just see Himself in them. So, we need to handle business. Like, I don't know about you, but when I was in the hood, man, I would ride a bike with 1 flat tire, 1 pedal, no chain, barefoot, uphill both ways, in the rain, through the mix. You know, it was snowing, whatever. Nothing would stop me if you said you were holding and I needed to get to you. That guy. So, the next time you feel like you can't, that you don't have the endurance, just remember, some of you may have heard this, I hope nobody's done it today, but just remember that as hard as we went in the hood, we need to go that hard for God. We need to recognize, we need to do it and put it on, whatever we got to do to just glorify Him more than we ever glorified anything else. That's the point of the book of Hebrews, is to glorify Christ above all of our practices. It goes in these sections where it talks about Christ is the ultimate sacrifice, is the ultimate this. And so we need to glorify Christ above any and all things in our life. And that's just how it is. And so whenever you think you can't, for whatever reason, just know that Noah was a drunk, Isaac was a daydreamer, Leah was ugly, Moses had a stuttering problem, Samson was a long-haired womanizer, Timothy was too young, Elijah was suicidal, Naomi was a widow, John the Baptist ate bugs, almost said drugs. The disciples fell asleep while praying. Mary Magdalene, well, you know what her profession was. Zacchaeus was too small. Timothy, he had ulcers. Abraham was too young. Jacob was a liar. Joseph was abused. Gideon was afraid. Rahab was a prostitute. David was an adulterer and a murderer. Jonah ran from God. Job went bankrupt. Peter denied Christ. Martha worried about everything. The Samaritan woman was divorced more than once. Paul was too religious. And Lazarus was even dead and God used him. So we have no excuse.